What up, what up? Welcome back. Getting a little chilly here in the Northwest Pacific. Talking about Internet Computer Protocol. Well, we all saw the Cloudflare DNS and server shut down again today, affecting businesses and governments and corporations and hospitals and who knows what else. And we're seeing what the reliance and dependency of our data sovereignty and our internet computer projects. We're not registering the unique domain names because domain names, DNS, are all run on centralized cloud. And there was some concerns that some of the caffeine or internet computer projects were not able to access certain information and data, and that's possibly true, especially if API integrations are relying on external cloud servers and DNS URLs forwarding, that kind of stuff. Is centralized cloud dependent as well. So I think even OpenChat, there was an issue with the main URL. But if you use the native canister ID as the URL, you could actually access the apps, website, games, all of the internet computer stuff from all the canisters. So there was a little bit of confusion on why some things were not working. However, these issues have been addressed and are being addressed, that any third-party API, third-party DNS, that's funny, we're calling it third-party now, third-party legacy tech cloud dependencies that are integrated into Internet Computer Protocol canisters will affect how the Internet Computer Protocol apps and dApps and software and games and everything works. So you just have to be mindful of that as we continue to grow and continue to scale and continue to trust that the Definity Foundation is aware of all this and doing all the updates and upgrades as required, whether it's directly or through the DAO, through the NNS. We know that all of our information and data is secure, that all of our apps and dApps and games are secure. So that's the beauty of what we're learning in real time, is how important Internet Computer Protocol really is. So it is grossly undervalued, because if you look at even the seconds, minutes, or hours of downtime that traditional IT and traditional legacy stack development and infrastructure, how it exists today, it's a huge ongoing issue. And there's going to be a point in time where there is going to be attacks or outages that are going to prevent you from taking out your money, or in an emergency to access funds, less about your internet identity, your virtual identity, less about that information, more so than the things that you rely on every day. In a cashless society, are you going to be able to access your wallets when things go down? Are you going to be able to access cold storage, hot storage wallets? Are you going to be able to make sure you have enough of that information available and working so that you're not stuck without the things that you need? So that's a great real world case scenario that happened today It's happened in the past. In the last 4 years it's happened. And it just proves that ICP is the most revolutionary tech on the internet since the internet itself. That's what we're talking about here. So I'm good with knowing that my information is safe and secure. My apps I've spent hundreds of hours on are secure. My information, my data, my money, all of that stuff. Not saying that exchanges aren't affected either, but there's a lot of control over centralized exchanges that the governments and private companies have over, freezing assets, limiting transaction volume, purchases, sales, trades, money movement, that sort of thing. So we see that as a perfect example in electronic e-transfers, daily limits, weekly limits, and monthly limits that the banks put on the accounts, which is not a bad thing if it's preventing phishing scam or cybercrime to completely liquidate somebody. But that all comes from your identity being stolen, whether it's through paper mail, whether it's through back-end systems on servers, whether it's done internally as an inside job. That's the thing, is people who know how to scam and steal and manipulate the digital world are going to continue to do so, and normal, regular people are going to be affected by this. So that's just a little quick rant on what I saw today, what I've been reading on X, what I've been seeing in the news, all kinds of headlines about Cloudflare, and it's not the first time this has happened, and this won't be the last time. And if you think that these traditional legacy tech full stack infrastructure is going to withstand AI agents, that they're going to withstand advanced general artificial intelligence, if you think that quantum computing, even on the smallest level, is not going to cause havoc in the world with these dependencies of centralized cloud, well, you know what to do. Just keep using that stuff, keep relying on that stuff, keep defending those specific apps and companies. Look, I'm not saying you can't invest in other businesses. I'm just saying that you're just leaving yourself at risk. And the tools and everything are out there. So we know what we have, we know what we're using, and that's fundamentally the most important thing, is that everything you're learning about internet computer protocol, you're way ahead of the game. You're way ahead of the curve. You're early to the party, which means you can exit the party early as well. So you just have to be patient. You just have to wave to all the bears, and just keep pushing through. Keep pushing through. Keep the energy, the positivity alive, and let the real world case scenarios justify your interest and investment in the internet computer protocol. That's it for today. Thanks for the subs, the likes, the comments. We'll see you on X. Until tomorrow, stay groovy.